Patriots across the nation are fuming. They are seething in the face of a feckless, cowardly Republican leadership that's doing absolutely nothing to stop the demonic Democrat witch hunt against President Trump and the deliberate destruction of our republic as we know it. In yesterday's video, I made the argument that all of this insanity, all this lawfare that's happening to President Trump is not because of what the Democrats are doing, but because of what Republicans are allowing. That's the key to understanding what's going on here. Ultimately, when all is said and done, all of this that's happening is not because of what the Democrats are doing, but because of what the Republicans are allowing. I have not seen a single Republican leader out there putting forward a strategic plan of action to actually defeat this insanity. Oh, they complain about it. They'll impotently lament that this is the end of our republic. But when it comes to the fundamental question, so what are you, Republican leader, going to do to stop it? They cower and retreat. They run away and hide. They literally offer nothing. It's beyond pathetic. So now it's up to us. It's up to Patriots to rise up and step in the gap left by our feckless, cowardly Republican leadership. And that's where a great article by Josiah Lippincott for American Greatness comes in. It outlines how Trump can use political pressure to defeat the Biden witch hunt. And what I loved about this article was how strategic it was and what a refreshing pivot from the pathetic and shallow outrage politics that our weak and feckless Republican leadership has consistently and cowardly defaulted to, not to mention raised money off of. The article draws from protest and freedom movements from around the world, which I really like because I don't think we should be reinventing the wheel here. Let's look at what other successful protest movements around the world have done, and let's implement some of the best, most effective strategies to fight back against this encroaching tyranny. Now, when to implement such strategies is a matter of debate. The article suggests that these things should go into effect if Trump is actually imprisoned. I personally think they needed to go into effect yesterday, right, as it were. Probably a middle ground would be a conviction. If Trump were actually convicted, then that would officially trigger these protest strategies. But again, the key here is that this is something we can all do to fight back against this blatant assault on our liberties and our freedoms. It's a lot like what my friend Ross Givens is doing. He's showing patriots how to use our politicians' corruption against them for our own benefit. And you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Companies like BlackRock have been bribing corrupt politicians like Nancy Pelosi with insider trading secrets for decades now. They know a whole host of trading secrets that gives them an unfair advantage when to pick stocks and the like. But did you know that thanks to a little-known SEC database, guess what? I mean, we can have access to those very same secrets as well. We get to see what stocks these corporate CEOs are buying up in real time, and then we get to piggyback on their trades to gain the same advantage for ourselves that Pelosi and the crooks in D.C. have. My friend Ross Givens, he's been tracking insider trading for years, and his recommendations have led to investment returns, get this, over 200%. Some have hit as high as nearly 1,500%. And now it's our turn. Click on that link below right now and learn how you too could trade like Pelosi. Click on that link and learn how to gain an insider advantage for yourself today. The major strategy that this article recommends is a massive national strike and shutdown of our transporting infrastructure. And of course, the inspiration for this is the glorious Freedom Convoy that shut down the Canadian government for weeks and almost caused the Trudeau government to implode due to the massive public pressure during the COVID lockdowns. But the key here is that the Freedom Convoy actually unleashed a patriot storm across the world. While what happened to the Freedom Convoy truckers in Canada was, of course, appalling, their glorious patriotism inspired countless movements like them all over the world, most especially Italy. Now, some months back, thousands of truckers descended on Rome and other major Italian cities, demanding nothing less than the resignation of their left-wing Prime Minister, Mario Draghi, who was just a globalist puppet instituting draconian measures on their nation. And guess what? They did it. The Draghi government collapsed. And now Italy has a hard-right nationalist populist government, and I need not say the Italian truckers are very, very happy. The same thing happened in the Netherlands with a massive farmers' protest. Protesters blocked food warehouses and supermarket distribution centers. Fishermen blocked ports in a show of support for the farmers. And the blockade effectively prevented ferries from sailing, trucks from delivering their goods, which of course caused lengthy delays and massive inventory shortages. They shut down Dutch highways and byways, and guess what? Guess what? The Dutch government collapsed. But my all-time favorite protest, one I actually wrote a book on, is what's called the Yellow Vest Uprising, the Gilets Jaunes in France. Now, this was an extraordinary working-class uprising that overwhelmed virtually every city in the French nation, and it forced the Macron government to back down from its radical and punitive environmental policies that disproportionately affected France's working class. Again, what's key to all of these national protests is that they all are patriot movements, working class movements that rose up and acted in the wake of their feckless and impotent politicians. This is key. The potential for a massive national protest centered on a transportation infrastructure shutdown is already in place in the United States. American truckers, farmers, train conductors overwhelmingly support Trump. They're patriots, and they can be mobilized to shut down this nation and bring the Democrats to heel literally overnight. We've got the blueprint to bring the corruption in our permanent political class to a final and decisive end. Hopefully, the only question that needs to be answered is not if we're willing to do it, but only when. Hey, gang, I know what it's like to feel alone out there in these turbulent times, but I broke free. If you too have been looking for a community with like-minded patriots who are serious about resisting globalism, building a parallel economy, and having intelligent and deep fellowship on a regular basis, then you've come to the right place. In my Courageous Patriot Insiders community, we're building a close-knit movement of, by, and for patriots who are breaking free from the outrage and despair cycles of the mainstream media and taking on the fight against globalism. Every week, I deep dive into the content I can't share on big tech and give you the cliff notes on the truth of how patriots just like you are building up their communities, starting patriot businesses, and fighting the woke in both public and private. All with a few history and political lessons from yours truly, of course. If you want to stop feeling alone as a patriot and stand together with this fast-growing community, be sure to click on the link in the description below. Don't wait. Join me and my Patriot Coalition today, and let's get fighting.